Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and today I've got an interesting padlock in the vise. It's a Roebuck 60mm cross key padlock. A bit of curiosity. I'm really excited that I've got this because I'm very fond of padlocks, and this is an unusual one to say the least. I know you can get a number of Chinese ones, but I've not seen many even on eBay. It's quite a meaty padlock. It's got a 1mm shackle. It's obviously quite big. It weighs about 400 grams, about somewhere near half a pound. And genuinely, I quite like this. However, it does have one sort of fatal design flaw, and hopefully you can see it on camera. And it's just bad manufacturing, I think. I don't think it's bad design. I hope they're not all like this. But you can see that I can actually access one side of the locking pawl by, here. I mean, that's not good, is it? That's pretty poor. And on that regard, I wouldn't recommend buying one of these to secure anything. Nevertheless, that's just sort of the way it is. I'm not going to change it. But we can have a go at picking it. I'm going to try and pick it two ways, if it'll allow me to do that. One by single pin picking and one by raking. Now, as you know, I normally like to use my snake rake. Problem is that to tension one of these locks, you have to go in, usually, there's a number of ways you can do it, but a lot of people tend to use a pry bar. If you do that, that's fine. You can rake these sides quite nicely, and there is a way in which you might want to swap over tension. So pick those three sides, put another pry bar in, take this one out, swap it over, swap the tension over, and rake that side. However, if you want to maintain tension on the lock, then you need to have clearance to be able to rake the pins like that, just past the tip of the pry bar. And the snake rake it's just not deep enough. If you look at this half diamond, though, you can see that it does reach down all the way. So whilst I don't normally rake with a half diamond, it's probably the right tool for the job. We'll see in a minute if that's the case. So I won't be able to tell you what pin I'm on in this. Usually there's about 15 to 16 pins in a lock like this. It's hard to tell from the key, truthfully, and the key doesn't always tell you how many pins there are. I've had a rough go at counting by dragging like tip of my Sparrow's Euro hook across the tops of the pins, but it doesn't tell me an awful lot. So 1, 2, 3, I think 3 on that side. 1, 2, that's how I count, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, definitely 4 that side. 1, 2, oh, 1, not getting anything there, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's a 15 pin lock, this one. So let's just get on with picking it, shall we? It already is going to take long enough to go through each pin and turn anyway, so I don't want to overbore you. So there we go. So in we go. You've got to be gentle with these things. So I've got no idea what pin I'm actually on. Just being gentle with them. The only reason I say I don't know what pin I'm on is what numbering convention do you use? I suppose you could use, round the clock starting at the top and then number back to front, but I don't know. So the idea is you just go through and you're just trying to just see if there's any binding pins and set them. I might just turn it this way a little bit, it's a bit more comfortable for me. Picking around a camera isn't easy. For those of you that do it, you know, so I'm not going to moan too much. The Euro hook's quite good because it will reach around the pick as well. So just keep going round in turn. There isn't much, there isn't like a methodical way to do it apart from just go through and try out all those pins and see where you get to. Yeah, it's just like picking a few locks at a time, although these tend to have slightly poorer tolerances on them. So these, because you know, it's clearly not a particularly well made lock. I just let go of the tension on this one. I think probably some of that was overset. I did get a good amount of core turn though, so maybe I did that too soon. Okay. Got a nice click off that one of the pins. Let's call it pin 1. Okay, I think it's very hard for you to tell, I think, but if that's 90 degrees there, you might be able to see that the cord has turned a little bit. So there we go. Turn it. So that's 90 degrees there, and you can see there's a little bit of cord turn. Not a lot, but enough. And we'll just go through again. And the idea is you just keep going pin to pin gently with light tension, and hopefully, if you bother each of the pins appropriately, you should get an open at some point. Let's turn it back this way. And there we go. So we've got an open eventually. There's not a lot of feel in these locks, but the tolerances are usually quite poor, so you know, it's just a patience game really. It looks like it locks both sides, so maybe it's not so bad that only that you can access the this little locking doggle pull just there, but it's still rubbish, isn't it? Let's see how the key works in there. So obviously you've got to line up the thickest side with it's usually the bit with the notch on. Sorry, can't see that on camera. The bit with the notch on with the thickest part, so that would go in this way. Oh, there we go. Look, there's a notch at the top. Normally that's the thickest part, but it's not on this one. The thickest part's at the bottom, but the notch lines up with the groove on the top. So there you go. So backwards to most of the crosslocks I have, but that's how it works. So notch of the key to the dimple or notch or groove or cut or drill hole at the top of the lock, goes in, turn, open. One last thing then, let's have a go at raking this. Again, it's going to be using a half diamond because it can reach over the pry bar, and I don't want to mess around with swapping the tension over halfway through picking it. So let's have a go at this. Be nice if I do a video under 10 minutes, wouldn't it, guys? And let's have a go. So again, same kind of thing really. You're going in and you're just being gentle with the pins. Give them a rake on one side, take it out, then rotate around. And remember, you've got to just be gentle. Don't overdo these. It either will or won't open. And being rough with it isn't going to help anybody. I had to let go of the tension there. I think that I overset something. I could feel that the pin's getting a bit sloppy and gross. So get my pig stuck in there. That's not good, is it? So this is one thing with these is that you might turn your diamond through the, well, I'll take it out and show you, through the groove, and that isn't through the crosslock here, and that's not so good. I'm going to do it the way up anyway, just for a change. Try again. bit of risk with using a hard diamond because it is quite a big thing. Maybe it is the wrong tool to use. Time will tell. Trying to get in behind this pry bar now. Let's try that. As always with raking, it's the minimum amount of tension possible at this point, and just gentle raking. It's not a race, it's about whether you can open it. A bit grittier this side. One is a binding pin there. I'll just give it a nice rake there. Take this out. Let's try again. Getting around this. Might try and swap to my S8 just in case. Just harder to kind of get round that pry bar. I feel we've got some core turns, so I'm hoping there's just a binding pin somewhere. Typically it's probably going to be behind this, oh there we go, got it open. So a bit messy that raking, I apologise. Took a bit longer than I anticipated. The half diamond was a good theory, but in practice it was probably just a little bit too big to actually get sort of in past the pry bar on this side, and probably a combination of this half diamond and my snake rake was useful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's an interesting sort of design, and of course you could always use a cross lock pick on a lock like this. I have tried it earlier, it didn't seem to want to comply, so I didn't want to force it. And also single pin picking and raking is more sort of lock sporty anyway, and it's a bit more satisfying when you get it open, because you know these are very useful and fun to play with, but when it comes down to it, just learning how the locks work and how to pick them is sort of the most fun bit. So there we go. Interesting Roebuck cross-lock padlock. Like I said, opens very nicely, but it's got some poor workmanship there, doesn't it? Okay, I'll see you next time.